"I want that black manager fired right now, or I'm never coming back," screamed the customer, pointing aggressively at Marcus, the restaurant's evening manager. The entire dining room fell silent as every eye turned toward the confrontation. But what happened next left everyone speechless, because the person who stepped out from the back office wasn't who anyone expected.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and a comment before we start to learn more about what happened.
Tony's Italian Kitchen had been Portland's beloved family restaurant for 15 years. Red checkered tablecloths, fresh garlic aromas, and warm conversations created the perfect atmosphere. Marcus Williams, 28, had worked his way up from busboy to evening manager over 3 years, earning respect through dedication and skill. Marcus held a degree in hospitality management from Portland State University, spoke fluent Italian and Spanish, and had increased customer satisfaction by 30%. Tony Martinelli, the 62-year-old owner, considered Marcus not just an employee but family, the most qualified manager he'd ever hired. Friday night brought the usual bustling crowd of families and couples. Marcus moved through the dining room with professional grace, ensuring every table received excellent service. At table 12 sat Patricia Brennan, a 45-year-old real estate broker who expected service matching her sense of status and superiority. From the moment Marcus greeted her with his warm, professional demeanor, Patricia's discomfort was evident. She immediately asked for the real manager when he introduced himself, seeming genuinely confused when he explained he was indeed the evening manager. Her ordering became deliberately complicated, constant changes and complaints designed to test his competence and authority. Marcus handled her behavior with remarkable professional grace, never allowing personal feelings to interfere with service quality. He'd encountered customers like Patricia before, people whose prejudices made them unable to accept his position. His response was always consistent: demonstrate excellence through exceptional service and unwavering professionalism. But Patricia wasn't satisfied with mere difficulty. As the evening progressed, her behavior escalated systematically. She complained the restaurant was too warm, then too cold when adjusted. The lighting was too dim, then too bright. The music too loud, then too soft. Even her table placement became problematic, too close to the kitchen despite specifically requesting a view of operations. Each complaint was addressed promptly by Marcus and his staff, but nothing satisfied her growing agitation. It was clear Patricia was deliberately creating problems, testing the restaurant's service limits while challenging Marcus's authority at every turn. The breaking point came when Patricia's signature osso buco arrived. Despite extensive discussion about preparation methods, she immediately declared the perfectly prepared dish completely unacceptable. The meat was too tough, the risotto too creamy, the presentation sloppy, the vegetables overcooked. Nothing met her impossible standards. Marcus approached calmly. "I sincerely apologize. The dish doesn't meet your expectations, ma'am. I'd be happy to have the kitchen prepare something else, or remove the charge entirely." But Patricia wanted confrontation, not solutions. "This is completely unacceptable," she announced loudly, ensuring nearby conversations paused. "I've eaten at the finest restaurants in Paris and New York, and this is amateur hour cooking. I demand to speak with the owner immediately." "I understand your frustration," Marcus replied professionally, despite growing attention from other tables. "I'm the evening manager, fully authorized to resolve any issues. What would you prefer as a solution?" Patricia's face reddened with indignation. "You're not qualified to handle this situation," she declared, voice rising. "I want someone who actually knows what they're doing. Someone who understands fine dining and belongs in a position of authority." The implicit racism wasn't lost on Marcus or other diners now openly watching, but he maintained remarkable composure. "I have over 5 years of restaurant management experience, ma'am, and I'm committed to ensuring every customer has an excellent experience. Patricia had passed reasonable discourse. Wine and prejudice created a toxic mixture. "I don't want your help," she spat with contempt. "I want the real manager, the owner, someone who actually belongs in authority." The dining room grew quieter as customers recognized the escalating confrontation's discriminatory nature. Servers paused uncertainly, while regular customers watched with growing anger at the obvious disrespect Marcus faced. Marcus remained outwardly calm, though tension showed in his controlled posture. "Ma'am, I am the manager on duty. I'm here to resolve any concerns. If you'd like to speak with the owner, I can arrange that, but he's currently in the kitchen." Patricia's response was swift and venomous. She stood dramatically, pointing accusingly at Marcus. "I want that black manager fired right now, or I'm never coming back," she screamed through the restaurant. "This is supposed to be respectable, not some fast food joint where children play manager." Deafening silence followed. Every conversation stopped, every fork lowered. The blatant racism was unmistakable, and several customers began recording this historic moment. Marcus stood perfectly still, using professionalism as armor against the personal, public attack. Years of experience taught him that anger would only escalate the situation and potentially validate her prejudiced assumptions. From the kitchen emerged Tony Martinelli, flour-dusted apron and towel in hand. He'd heard every word of Patricia's racist tirade, and his expression showed anger and disgust his staff rarely witnessed. Though not physically imposing at 5'8" with a comfortable build, Tony's presence filled the room with ownership authority and moral weight of someone who'd built his business on respect and dignity principles. "Excuse me," Tony said, Italian accent pronounced with emotion. "I am Tony Martinelli, the owner. I understand you have concerns about my manager." Patricia shifted, sensing she'd reached someone with authority to vindicate her demands. "Yes, finally. This young man has been completely unprofessional. He's clearly incompetent, and someone like him doesn't belong in management. I'm a successful businesswoman. I know quality service." Tony listened without interruption, dark eyes intensely focused on Patricia. When she finished, he nodded slowly, appearing to carefully consider her words. "So you believe Marcus Williams, my evening manager, is unqualified for his position?" Tony asked quietly. "Absolutely," Patricia replied confidently. "Someone like him shouldn't represent an establishment like this. You need management staff who understand fine dining and can relate to your clientele." The phrase, "someone like him," hung like poison in the air. Tony's expression darkened as he stepped closer, voice dropping to command more attention than her shouting. "Let me tell you about Marcus Williams," Tony began deliberately. "He has a hospitality management degree from Portland State, graduating summa cum laude. He speaks 3 languages fluently. He's increased customer satisfaction 30% since becoming evening manager. He works 60-hour weeks, often staying late to help younger staff develop skills." Patricia tried interrupting, but Tony raised his hand firmly. "More importantly," he continued with growing moral authority, "Marcus represents everything good about this restaurant and community. He treats every customer, regardless of race, background, or attitude, with respect and professionalism. He's shown more class and dignity in 20 minutes than you've shown all evening." The restaurant remained silent, everyone hanging on Tony's passionate defense. Patricia's face flushed with embarrassment rather than anger. "You've received exceptional service tonight," Tony said firmly. "What you haven't received is validation for your prejudice. That, madam, you'll never receive in my restaurant." Tony paused before delivering his devastating final blow. "You demanded I fire Marcus because of his race, but here's what you don't understand. Marcus isn't just my employee, he's my partner. As of last month, he owns 20% of this restaurant. If business continues growing under his management, he'll own the majority within 5 years. The revelation hit Patricia like a physical blow. Her mouth opened and closed without sound, unable to process information contradicting her worldview. "So, when you demanded I fire my manager," Tony continued, "you were asking me to fire my business partner and destroy my own investment." Tony's voice strengthened with conviction. "Your behavior has been witnessed by dozens. You've made racist statements, disrupted everyone's experience, and disrespected my staff. You are no longer welcome here." Marcus stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "Ma'am, I'm asking you to leave now. Your bill is cancelled, but you're not welcome to return." Patricia looked desperately around for support, meeting only disapproving stares and shaking heads. Without another word, she grabbed her purse and walked quickly toward the exit. As she reached the door, Tony called out, "Ma'am, I hope someday you learn that character matters more than skin color. Until then, please find somewhere else to eat." The door closed with a definitive thud. After a moment of silence, applause began, starting with one customer, spreading throughout until the entire dining room clapped enthusiastically. Marcus found himself overwhelmed by support. Customers approached expressing admiration for his professionalism and apologizing for Patricia's behavior. Others congratulated Tony for his strong public stand. One elderly regular, Frank, shook Marcus's hand warmly. "Son, I've been coming here 10 years. I've never seen anyone handle a situation with such grace. You made us all proud tonight." A young woman stood to address the room. "What we witnessed is real leadership," she announced, both from Marcus, showing incredible professionalism under attack, and Tony, standing up for what's right when it mattered most. The applause resumed enthusiastically, with several giving standing ovations. As the evening continued, the restaurant's energy shifted from tension to celebration. Customers began sharing stories about discrimination they'd witnessed or overcome. The incident created unexpected community among strangers, united by shared recognition of right and wrong. Tony found himself busier than ever as customers requested personal conversations. Some complimented his food, others praised his handling of the situation. Several made future reservations specifically to support a business defending its employees. "I've eaten at many restaurants," one customer told Tony, "but I've never felt as comfortable anywhere as here tonight. You've created something truly special." As the evening wound down, Tony and Marcus reviewed events over glasses of Tony's private reserve wine. "I meant what I said about the partnership," Tony told Marcus. "Your professionalism tonight confirmed what I already knew. This restaurant needs you not just as manager, but as owner with real stake in its future." Marcus processed the offer's magnitude. "Tony, this place means everything to me. To know you trust me enough to make me partner." "It's not about trust," Tony interrupted. "It's recognition. You've earned this through work, character, and excellence. Tonight made it obvious to everyone what I've known for years." They shook hands, sealing not just business partnership, but friendship built on mutual respect and shared values. Word spread quickly through social media and local news. Videos went viral, becoming a powerful example of businesses standing against racism while supporting employees. Tony's Italian kitchen saw significant increased business, with customers specifically requesting to dine where the owner defended his black manager. Marcus became a local celebrity, receiving job offers and speaking invitations. The incident sparked broader conversation about racism in the service industry. Local business organizations implemented employee support training, with restaurant owners publicly committing to follow Tony's example. Patricia faced unexpected consequences as the viral video spread. Real estate clients canceled contracts, seeking representation elsewhere. Her agency, concerned about negative publicity, ultimately asked her to resign. 3 months later, Marcus officially became a 20% partner. The ceremony was attended by staff and regular customers who'd witnessed the original confrontation. During his speech, Marcus reflected, "That night taught me dignity and professionalism are more powerful than hatred and ignorance. But it also taught me standing alone isn't necessary when surrounded by good people sharing your values." Tony emphasized creating inclusive spaces in a divided world. A restaurant is more than a place to eat. It's a community gathering place where all backgrounds should feel welcome and respected. That's what we've built and will continue protecting. The incident became a business school case study, illustrating how companies could balance customer service with moral leadership. It demonstrated that sometimes the customer isn't right, and standing up for employees and principles could strengthen rather than damage business. For Marcus, the experience reinforced his commitment to excellence in both professional skills and personal character. He continued advancing in hospitality, eventually opening his own restaurant chain, providing opportunities for underrepresented groups in management positions. Tony remained the restaurant's face, but gradually transitioned operational responsibilities to Marcus, who proved to be not just an excellent manager, but a visionary leader expanding into catering and event planning. The story served as a powerful reminder that racism can be confronted and defeated when good people choose to act with courage and conviction. It showed businesses have power to create positive social change by refusing to tolerate discrimination and supporting employees facing prejudice. Most importantly, it demonstrated that respect and dignity are non-negotiable values, and sometimes the most powerful response to hatred is simply refusing to accept it as normal or inevitable. Years later, both Tony and Marcus would look back on that Friday evening as a turning point, not just for their business partnership, but for their understanding of what it means to create a truly inclusive community where everyone can thrive regardless of the color of their skin or the circumstances of their birth.